This mark right here means you're already gone. This symbol, right here, do you know what it means? It looks like a cross. It sounds like a weapon. And when it shows up next to your name in print, it means you're no longer alive. This is the dagger mark, a punctuation glyph that's equal parts respectful, terrifying, obscure, and beautifully sharp. It lives in footnotes, in Deathdates, in ancient texts, but it also lives in fantasy, prophecy, grimoires, horror fiction, and the whispered space between what's remembered and what's erased. Today we're digging into this rarely used mark, the dagger, and uncovering its layered history, its symbolic weight, and the powerful ways authors can wield it as part of their narrative voice, world-building design, and even typographic storytelling. It's more than a punctuation mark. It's a funeral shroud, a secret reference, and a weapon made of ink. But first, I'm MT Lynx, indie author, creator, and dev. And if you enjoy these deep dives into obscure punctuation and weird words that you were told to use but never quite explained why, do me a favour, do the algorithmic things. Hit subscribe, it costs you nothing, promises, promises. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I drop new videos, which is just about every day. And if you would, and you get something out of this, give this video a like. It lets the algorithm know that I'm doing something worthwhile here, and hopefully it will bring you more of what I create. Alright, back to the dagger. Let's draw it in together. The origins. The dagger's earliest use is tied to ancient scribal notation, especially in Greek and Latin manuscripts. Its first identity? A mark for questionable passages, lines that scholars doubted, marked for deletion or just skepticism. They called it an Obelus. Yes, the ancestor of our modern division sign. Later, in medieval Christian texts, it began to resemble the Christian cross and was used to mark saints' names, martyrs, or deceased figures. In modern use, the dagger evolved into a refined typographic symbol that now most often appears next to footnotes, especially when an asterisk has already been used, after a person's name to denote they've passed away, in scholarly references, legal texts, or annotated poetry. But what does it mean for us as fiction writers? It means we're holding a symbol of memory, of removal, and of silence with an echo. The death date implication. Alright, let's be a bit pointed here. Pun intended, because I always intend my puns. If you see the dagger next to a date, like that, you know, especially if it's next to someone's name, you know exactly what that means. They're not living anymore. The dagger didn't kill them, but it confirms it. It stamps it in print. Unlike an obituary, it doesn't explain. Unlike a gravestone, it doesn't eulogize. It simply marks. Writers, how potent is that? A single glyph can halt a sentence. It can appear mid-paragraph and change the tone retroactively. Now, imagine writing, Lord Ferethriel, dagger 1122, once ruled the eastern wilds. The moment you see that dagger, the reader knows he's not coming back, unless he's undead. This is past tense, in the bones, and the rest is remembrance. It's an instant emotion glyph. Footnotes and forgotten truths. The dagger often serves as a second-level footnote marker, used after the asterisk has already been claimed. But here's a trick. The dagger footnote feels differently. An asterisk is neutral. A dagger is ominous. In literary essays, you'll find it used for special conditions, rare exceptions, disclaimed meanings, authorial commentary with emotional tension, and writers have turned dagger footnotes into side narrators, ghost voices, hidden layers of unreliable memory, and cursed addenda to the main text. You could write a whole story above the line and let the daggers in the margins tell the truth beneath. Think of the dagger as a whisper in the dark, not just a citation. Warnings in fiction. So now we world build. What if the dagger mark existed in-world in your novel? It could be a cursed seal on ancient texts, a mark of magical sacrifice, the ritual glyph of the end of life in a high court decree, a warning symbol found in the margins of a haunted manuscript. Dagger glyphs can appear on gravestones in necromancer lore, as brandings on characters who've been returned from the afterlife, on missing person posters that appear decades later with a dagger drawn on it. Or you could invert it. In a future society where the dagger mark means disappeared without a trace. Or worse, it means that the end of your life is scheduled. It is your final annotation. You can use the dagger typographically inside a story to mark a character's internal monologue, with denoting trauma where the dagger is. Use it as a visual replacement for redacted information. Or you can let it flicker between chapters like a ghost in the formatting. This glyph has presence. Emotional devices. Let's get personal here. The dagger is about loss, but it's also about the proof that someone once existed. It's not the story itself, it's the aftermath. In memoir, essay, and poetry, it can be a name etched in footnote silence, a symbol that stops the sentence mid-grief, a reminder that the living are still annotating the dead. And emotionally, it works like, I remember him. She was my sister. They never found the body. The dagger doesn't speak, it marks where words fail. That is beautifully devastating. You can't write a eulogy in every chapter, but you can insert a dagger, and the reader will feel it. Fonts and formatting. Want to use it practically? Here's how to type it. For Windows, that's Alt plus 0134. For Mac, it's Option plus T. For Unicode, it's U plus 2020. Fonts that support the dagger cleanly are Georgia, Times New Roman, Garamond, Noto Serif, EB Garamond, Palatino, and Sans Serif Pro. Here are some of the best ways to use it in a manuscript. Inline death date marks, footnote sequencing, world-building typography in fantasy alphabets, and character glyphs. For example, place one between titles. Here's a pro tip. Don't overuse it though. Use the dagger where it hurts and where it interrupts the page like a sword. Too much and people will get overwhelmed, or just start ignoring it completely. The literary aspect. Writers have been playing with daggers for centuries. In Gothic fiction, it shows up to annotate cursed family trees, signal doom, mark characters that are doomed from page 1. In poetry, it acts like a lyrical guillotine. And in horror, it's a punctuation jump scare. Modern authors often use daggers to divide the main story from metafiction, show editorial redaction or distortion, and designate unreliable timelines. For example, the dagger is the version someone wants erased. You can even make the dagger a character in your book, the invisible editor, the ghost in the margins. Let the dagger mean the sentence was changed, this version is fake, the truth has teeth. Metaphor and meaning. The dagger is quiet. It doesn't scream, it doesn't fight, but it does end things cleanly. It says, there is a limit, and there's no coming back. Here lies. This isn't the whole truth. It's a boundary glyph, the point at which the story enters memory. It is the punctuation mark of closure, silence, reverence, irreversible truth. It cuts the sentence off, not with violence, but with certainty. If the carrot says something is missing, the dagger says something is already gone. One mark, one symbol, one quiet weapon of punctuation. Use it when you want the reader to feel the breath that never came. Use it to signal memory, mortality, or mistrust. Use it when the silence speaks louder than the lie itself. Use it when your light goes out and you're trying to film. I'm Empty Lynx, and this was the Dagger. If you enjoyed this video, do the algorithmy things for me. Hit subscribe, it costs you nothing. Ring the bell if you want to see when I drop videos, which is just about every day. And if you would please give this video a like. It tells YouTube that what I'm creating here is worthwhile. Next week we're going to lighten things up with the bullet point, because sometimes punctuation is soft, round and strong. But for this week, let's let that dagger rest now. Until next time, write truth, honour memory, and never forget the power of a single mark. And now you know. I'll see you in the next video. It's this one, right here.